All right, Alice. Let's just say the big news. Somebody hit their milestone today at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, the big weigh-in, and somebody has moved on, Alice, to an entire other arena. And that person is Thomas Shattuck, who's at a nice even number of a few hundred pounds, Alice, down from around a few 150 pounds.
Good job, honey. Congratulations.
Thank you. I lost 5.6 pounds over the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Something really kicked in.
You're down like 45 pounds altogether, right?
A little bit more.
Okay. More. Just about 45, I think.
Right. I'm down. I like to say I'm down twice as many pounds as you're down.
Yes, true.
Correct.
That's true. I only lost 23 pounds, so they kicked me out now.
Yeah.
I
by
was
the way,
doing so badly.
Your after picture doesn't nearly do you justice. Doesn't nearly do you justice.
You can take some extra after pictures later. If
I
intend
to.
Okay.
All right, and congratulations, Alice, for inheriting the great Trenni Kuznarek Kirk Minahan impersonation.
I hear that's a great honor, actually.
It is. I am absolutely touched and humbled and honored. That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That is great because, a lot of us remember when he used to do that voice. She was an unbearable personality. Oh, God, she was so terrible. And she was totally self-absorbed. She's the one who, she wanted you to know what a really good person she was. So
right.
She's the one who tweeted, like, I'm on an airplane with my nephew, and the pilot just got over the intercom, and he's called... And he said, "Hi, I'm your pilot. My name is Muhammad Ali." And she said, "Yay! Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee." Like the other Muhammad. Yeah. But really, she was just showing us how cool she was with a Muslim flying the airplane, because she was so not Islamophobic because of 9/11, unlike the brutes and evil conservatives. But that was like very typical. She's terrible, actually. She works for NBC Boston, I think, or somewhere. I don't know, but she did other things like that too. She's also the one who, like, I forgot what was happening at West Point when Trump showed up a couple of years ago, and the soldiers did something when Trump showed up that was pro-Trump, and she was like, "That is awful, awful. These people they're carrying weapons and they're pro-Trump. That means that they, want whatever." It was just it was stupid, dumb, and it was almost everything she does when she's got a small brain. So when she uses her brain, it's whatever. She doesn't know who to be anyway. But his takeoff on her, it was totally so self-absorbed, and I like it. Although you're not, you've become self-absorbed since you become famous in the universe.
I don't know that that's exactly true.
Yeah, I mean, you got a hit of the uncut stuff about a week ago, and certainly it has become a bigger part of your world. I mean, as far as the recreational world can be, obviously we've got kids and full-time jobs and not much time.
Exactly.
But I would say that, oh, yes. Oh, you should have seen Alice today. Speaking of, and you should do this, if I could do it, the voice. What? I forget how the voice goes. How does it sound?
I don't know. It's on Twitter. You can play it if you want to.
Oh, yeah. They asked Alice today at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, considering she's kind of done with her weight loss part of it. They asked her if they could, if she could sign a release so that
they can use the photos.
They can use the photos in commercials and her likeness, etc. Let me tell you, the self-importance when she pretended to look it over for a second and signed it. I've never seen somebody so ready to sign that in a moment. But yeah, let me see if I can find it. I was just looking at it before. I get the feeling that, Alice, you just so happen to be able to pull it up quickly.
I don't have it to pull up quickly. I'm asking you to pull it up. You guys on Patreon heard me yelling to my kids. I'm trying to get them to eat a McRib that we got, and none of them are touching it. Yeah, I took them to McDonald's after the dentist because that's like the reward for being good at the dentist is that they get to get McDonald's. And they had the McRib back on the menu, and it's supposed to be the last time. I don't believe that for a second because they've brought it back approximately 6,000 times.
You've been McLied to before.
Exactly. It's been the last time to get the McRib a few times in my adult life. So anyway, I asked them if they wanted to try it, and they said, yeah, we want to try it. And I was like, I'm just getting one, though, because I don't know if you guys will like it, and you can each like have a bite and see what you think. We'll see. But
so he's
I got
swear
one.
On this.
None of them have touched it. Okay. Well, no one wanted the McRib. I can't believe it. So that's a waste. And I'm not eating that because I can't now get fat again. That would be problematic. So, the McRib is staying where it is. Nobody in the house can eat it.
That is a damn shame. Why don't you whack it out?
I can't eat that.
Why? Just make yourself throw up. That's what you.
No.
It's time for Team Bulim for you.
I can't get fat. I can't post weight loss pictures to the Minifans and then get fat again. That's not going to fly.
Team Bulim.
No.
Yes. Just make yourself throw up.
Morgan says the McRib is gross. That's not true. I always loved the McRib.
So I'm not going to say it's gross, but it never really did much for me ever. My brother was a McRib guy, definitely. I mean, it's very sweet. I
think it's a nostalgia thing for me because it was only really around when I was a kid, and then it disappeared until I was like in my early 20s, and so then that was like so exciting.
15,
I really
70.
liked.
This is definitely
in to sit with him.
He didn't ask me, and either let the record show.
Hold on.
No.
This is Kirk impersonating Alice, and so far it's dead on.
It's exactly what I sound like.
Why not? I can't imagine why. Yeah. It sounds like such a illuminated conversation. Why wouldn't I have a conversation? I think one time a guy died, and then he came back to life, and his dad was there, and his mom got knocked up without even fucking anybody.
Oh, come on,
I really think that would happen.
Yeah.
My husband is gonna make Connecticut great.
Jesus, that is terrible. So this is Kirk making fun of Alice's effete vocal burn, suburban white girl voice. Just made fun of her religion. There you go, Alice. And then, it is going to me now.
My husband is gonna make Connecticut great power.
A great what?
The greatest place on earth, I think.
Oh, find a cross and fuck it. I mean, really. Jesus, God almighty.
Clean up this one a lot.
She was very good in the show, and I enjoyed it. What are we doing here? Yeah. Why does everybody have to do this? Why? God damn it. Why?
Now,
Why?
I suspect you may know what's coming, but I haven't heard a criticism yet.
Does he need to? Who knows? Do you disagree?
I just think Why
is it like Kirk was great to me, Dave was great to me, it was a great experience?
I don't think there should be any nuance. It was a great experience.
None!
Yes.
Zero!
Right. Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
No?
I agree.
Go ahead.
But, it was fun to do it, certainly. And like I said, I have a really big appreciation for what Kirk has done.
All right, hold on. Okay, well, now.
There we go.
I mean, it took a while. But
I told you if you just wait.
Yeah, I don't want to wait. Like my man Dawson. I don't want to wait. Okay? Let's get moving here. Jesus.
My man Dawson, do you get that?
No.
It's the theme song to Dawson's Creek. I don't want to wait for my
love.
love.
Yeah.
All right, so Alice, here's the thing now.
Okay.
We've got a situation. This is the energy now is very important.
Okay.
Because he's going to like having his Trenni voice back and to be able to use it.
Yes.
The problem is, here's the challenge. And he's going to like it. The Minifans are going to like to hear it too. And they already have. They're like,
I brought them this gift.
Okay. The problem is that when he feels that we're enjoying the attention too much, that competes. Because I thoroughly enjoy it.
He doesn't like you to like it.
He could do his entire show in that voice, being viciously cruel to you, and I'm all for it. I miss that voice. But we can't like it.
You can't look like you like it.
Right. Although you still have to throw some stuff out there. It's really.
Fortunately for you, he's not going to listen to the Burn Barrel podcast. So.
You don't think he's got moles everywhere, Alice? This is This is a planet Hoth. Or what's the planet with all the spies that were everywhere in Star Wars? The one with the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Tatooine? Is that what it is?
Aren't they still on Tatooine when that
Tatooine?
happens? Aren't they at the bar on the
Okay.
same planet? Okay. Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah.
All right. So, as far as there's some great Biden stuff, man. Biden has really been He's not been good.
Well, what's with the hand? First of all, can we talk about that?
Biden hand?
Yeah.
I didn't
Have
know.
you seen that?
Oh, he's got a
picture?
contusion like there. Yeah. Well,
No, it looks like he's had like
An IV.
an IV or whatever in his hand, and this is not like some weird conspiracy theory. This is in photos posted by major news organizations. His hand looks like, I mean, he's been getting injections of something in his hand.
Yes, it's called Survive Juice that they give him so that he's got a few more hours.
Yeah, but I'm surprised they're being so obvious with it and they're not saying anything about his health. It's kind of crazy. Like, even the New York Times wrote a big piece about how he screwed up so many facts and figures yesterday. Did you see that? And then in the replies, it's all angry Democrats complaining that they're ruining everything and how dare they, and they've always been white supremacists. Yeah, this was the Hill, a photo on the Hill, and it's like his hand has this massive wound in it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him, but they're going to have to come clean after the election and explain what's wrong with him. I assume I don't know. I don't know if they can run the guy again at this point. Like, if he can't get a sentence out, although they're running Fetterman, so... You know, he can't get a sentence out, and they're sticking with that as a candidate. So,
here's Biden today.
And by the way, in your home, you know, the batteries that we have now, and they're getting more and more sophisticated. You know, a lightning storm takes out all the electricity in the house. Guess what? You can plug your car into the house and make it light up. You think I'm joking? It's a little simplistic, but literally you can. Literally you can.
Jesus.
Oh, this summer, it really is kind of exciting. I get a little.
Yeah. Actually, I like that.
You think I'm joking?
Whoa.
It's a little simplistic, but literally you can. Literally you can. Oh, this summer.
Meanwhile, out here in reality, the Eversource CEO is asking Biden to take emergency executive action to do something about the New England natural gas supply this winter, because he says he is deeply concerned about the potentially severe impact a winter energy shortfall will have on the people and businesses of the region. So this isn't just prices. This is, we literally don't have enough energy to heat all the houses in New England this winter. We have a problem. The head of Eversource is sounding the alarm to President Biden, urgently requesting he use emergency powers to ensure New England residents will have enough fuel to stay warm and avoid blackouts this winter.
Yeah, I've heard it's scaring everybody in Connecticut.
We don't have enough pipeline infrastructure to get the gas here in pipelines. So we're reliant on the liquid natural gas that comes in boats, and they're not coming because they normally come from Russia, so we can't have them anymore. I mean, that's where we are, and we're not going to have, there's not enough renewable energy. It's not there. So like has always been the case with all this Green New Deal stuff, it's all like unicorns and fairies and sounds nice. We're going to all be on renewable energy. The renewable stuff doesn't exist. It's not there. It only exists in AOC's mind.
No, I can't stop hearing it. Stop hearing it. I apologize.
So yeah, so get ready for the rolling blackouts this winter, honey.
Let me tell you something, Alice. If we get rolling blackouts this winter, and like you said,
when there's a real cold snap,
right? And that's what they said, is that they won't have enough energy.
Yeah, when it gets really cold, we're screwed. That's what the CEO of the biggest New England energy company says.
We will be cold in this house when that happens.
We'll
right?
just all snuggle up.
Yeah, we'll snuggle
Pepper's
up.
nice and warm.
Can we treat her like they did in?
Are you gonna say
Empire Strikes
vacation?
Back?
Oh,
no, the Tatwa, the snow jumping goat thing that Han Solo rode. Okay, you know what? All that stuff is a distant.
Mos Eisley, is that it?
Yes, it is. All
okay.
that stuff is.
That's the previous
there's a
Star Wars
Tauntauns,
reference.
I believe, is a matter of fact,
Tauntauns, yes. Okay. We got them all. It took us a while, but we got them.
I believe I am more worried about something that. So you're being called. You hear that? You don't?
I'm not going.
This is. I'm more concerned with this than the rolling blackouts from this winter.
Good to see you. And as Gen Z gears up to hit the polls, transgender voters are concerned they might be blocked from casting their ballots.
Yeah, that's because a growing number of states are enforcing stricter voter identification laws that disproportionately impact the community.
NBC Out reporter Joe Yerkeba joins us now with more on this. Joe, good morning to you. So first of all, how can voter ID laws create obstacles for transgender people? And where do we see some of the strictest voter ID laws?
Can you imagine being any part of this broadcast, being any one of those anchors, knowing that this is the next segment, and like having to do it because some wacko activist, editor or manager, believes this is important and where you should be calibrated to? Can you imagine that? With upcoming rolling blackouts happening, it's like, oh man, but here we go.
Sure, yeah. So voter ID laws disproportionately impact trans people because trans people are more likely to have IDs.
Let me tell you, when I have my NBC gig, now look at Alice's body as she walks by. Her body looks so much better than it does in those pictures. I'm sorry. Look, check her out. She looks so much better. Voter ID laws disproportionately affect trans people more. How about this? How about just shut the frig up? God. It disproportionately affects my demographic now. I want a segment. Can you imagine like being the anchor and having to do the segment? Like, wouldn't you just get up and just like, okay, I'm done. So here's my key fob, and I'll see you all later. Ugh.
Without the name that they go by and the gender marker that reflects how they present. And recent research shows that just over 200,000 eligible trans voters in 31 states that both conduct their elections mostly in person and require or request ID at the polls don't have IDs that reflect their gender identities and the names they go by. And, you know, the states that have the strictest voter ID laws are mostly concentrated in the South and Midwest. So Tennessee, Wisconsin, Kansas. So voters there are going to be.
So wait a second. So how are they disproportionately affected? They're disenfranchised. They can't vote.
Because they don't look like their voter ID. So like the poll worker thinks that it's not really them. So like if you got your driver's license when you were 16 and a girl, and now you're like a bearded dude, they might think you're not really that person. You know what? Sure. I wanted to give you my phone.
You know what?
It's actually out of batteries, though, so you have to plug it in my room.
I already want to play with dancing.
Okay, well, go plug it in, and then you can.
But he's not in there.
He wants to play
Tell
with
him to
Here,
go
you want
play
to play
with
with
you.
mine, Cyril?
You want Daddy's?
It's full of batteries.
Okay.
You say thank you?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You see, it doesn't take much to make a child happy, Alice. Wouldn't kill you to learn. We can't talk about the complaining trans people with
the voter IDs. Well, the thing about it, the fact that that's the story is so funny because they complained that it was like a civil rights thing, that it was Jim Crow, that it was blocking black people out of the vote, and now that narrative is just so up in smoke because black people are totally able to vote and there's absolutely no problem. They're not waiting in lines. They can vote just like everybody else. And so we've now moved on to the more niche voters that the voter ID laws cause problems for. Next, they're going to say that the voter ID laws disproportionately impact people who like lose their IDs or something because they can't find people who are impacted by voter ID laws because it doesn't stop anyone from voting who's legitimately able to vote. It's just not a thing. So, you know, they're becoming more and more desperate because the polls are looking worse and worse. 538 is up to 54% chance that Republicans win now. So, and it was, you know, Democrats over 50 like a couple days ago. So things are shifting very rapidly. And one thing I've noticed about elections is that one of the biggest tells to me is that last final momentum direction in the polls, right? Because like if you think about 2012.
Well, when does that happen?
I mean, it's.
Are we sure? Didn't Kirk said that Fetterman was up in a poll today?
There's a bunch of different polls out. I mean, everybody's up in some and, down in others, but let me look at specifically at all the latest ones gathered in one spot on the Fetterman race. Let's see. They still have Fetterman up in 538, but they have Walker up currently in Georgia.
Yeah.
So, but that wasn't the case before. Fetterman used to be up more than, Fetterman was in way better shape, and vice versa. The Warnock was up more than Fetterman. You know what I mean? So let's see. The latest polls on this race have Oz +3, Oz +1. And then there was one October 26 to 30 that had Fetterman +3. And then Fetterman +5, Fetterman +2, Oz +2. So they're like all over the place. I just don't buy that. I don't think. I mean, I get it that there's a whole bunch of broken brain partisan people that are going to vote for Fetterman no matter what. And I know you said if you were a Republican, you'd still be voting for him, even though he can't talk and all that stuff. The people who decide the race are not those people. The people who decide the race are the people who are like, I'm independent, I'm in the middle, I just, I vote for the person, not the party. And for those people, I don't see how they possibly think that Fetterman can be a better senator than Dr. Oz can. Do you?
No. And let me tell you another reason why. And this is, you're going to have to work with me in this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
David Axelrod used to say, 20 years ago or 15, 18, whatever, when he was running Deval Patrick's campaign in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Deval Patrick was the starter kit for Barack Obama's campaign.
Right.
And
still could potentially run, I think.
Deval?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
used to get floated like all the time.
I mean, he's got incredible charisma, and I don't know if he's into it, but he's he's a wacko, but now they're all wacko. So, but
he's probably less wacko than a lot of them now.
But I used to talk to this state Democrats who worked on the campaign, and they said it was change you can believe in, be the change, all that stuff was Deval first.
Mm-hmm.
And they said the genius of it all was Deval, being a black man, he embodied change. Right. Look, this is change. This is the easiest change you can do. You've got a smart, young black man now. Be the change, be the change. And Deval was fresh, and he was tireless. I saw him speak at not even on purpose. I was just out and doing 5Ks back then, and he would be there in the back of trucks throwing T-shirts around when nobody knew his name, and his name was all odd, like Deval. What is a Deval? Anyway, So anyway, unfortunately, I think that you can also embody other elements. So if you look at Fetterman, he looks like chaos, and he is. He looks like the suffering dollar right now. He looks like confused messaging of his party, and he is. I mean, he's been all over the place. He just looks like instability, and he is. And it's like a perfect for the Democratic brand.
Like,
and it's
not being able to talk or do anything competently reminds people of the Biden administration.
And it's the same thing if you look in Washington, the Senate race with Patty Murray. Patty Murray looks like a worn-out moonbat. Bad hair, funny-looking, bangs, white hair. She just looks like a confused homeless lady with a shopping cart. She does. I'm not trying to be sexist. And it looks confused and disheveled and bad and unclear, like the progressive politics that visited Washington State and made them hellacious in the last couple of years. Like this crazy bug that's in tune with progressive ideas and defund the police and all this stuff. And she looks like the crazy idea of progressivism, the worst of it. And then you've got Tiffany Smiley is incredibly, she's beautiful, she's young, she's put together, she's an alpha. At a time, same with it's like Carrie Lake.
Or Caroline Levitt, I was going to say.
Caroline Levitt and Carrie Lake.
Yes.
At the same time, you want a symmetrical, tough, somebody who looks like they make sense.
Do you have that Katie Hobbs cut?
I do. It's not great, but I can play it. I played it earlier.
But I just think in the in the spirit of her just seeming incompetent and sucky and like not somebody you want to vote for.
I mean, Katie Hobbs, in this cut to me, I'll have it in just a second. In this cut to me, she's almost conceding the race.
I know, she's done running.
You would never hear a politician speak like this. And this is like, she's, facing a tribunal of Don Lemon and two other small brains on CNN in the morning coffee clatch, which Lemon is actually suited for. But so here's them talking to Katie Hobbs, who's been avoiding Kari Lake. She won't be in the same room with her. She runs away.
Why not debate your opponent? If you believe your opponent is, has issues and is spreading conspiracy theories about a stolen election and so on, and is not being truthful with the people of Arizona, why then not get on the debate stage and debate her?
Not only is Kari Lake, has she centered her entire platform around this election denialism, I didn't want to give her a bigger stage to do that. But additionally, she has shown that she's not interested in having any kind of substantive conversation. She's only interested in creating a spectacle.
But
and I didn't want to be.
If you were in the same space with her, wouldn't it be easier to knock it down in front of everyone, in front of the most people? Because you're not stopping her from spreading whatever you believe that she is spreading by not debating her. She can go on television, she can talk about it, she can go in front of the people of Arizona every single day and talk about it, but you're not confronting her on it. And it seems like it would be an easy fix if you stood up on a debate stage and confronted her about these issues.
Look, we're 6 days out from the election, and our campaign strategy is our campaign strategy. So
she actually literally shrugged her shoulders.
Yeah, we already decided we're not just not debating. It's too late.
We're going with this. It's not working, and we're going to get creamed.
So we're moving forward. I'm continuing to make my case to the voters of Arizona. Whether or not we debate it in this race is not going to decide this election. So, we made a decision, didn't want to be a part of her spectacle, and she's not, she won't answer these tough questions to real reporters. She only talks to fake news.
But Secretary, it's not just her that you won't debate. You also did not debate your Democratic primary opponent, Marco Lopez. Why? And have you ever?
I was
miles
ahead of him.
Isn't it so embarrassing?
In the race and won handily. It's a totally different situation here.
Well,
you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah,
I was miles ahead of him.
But that's what's so funny about it, too, is because they made that decision that they're not going to debate Kari Lake at a time when they thought they would win easily because she's just Kari Lake and she's a stupid political commentator or just a daytime TV person who's not. She doesn't have any political experience. She's not a good candidate. She's an election denier. She's extreme. She's going to suck. She's going to lose so easily. So they made the decision, we don't have to debate this woman. And they're still framing it that way. Like, we don't want to give her a platform. It's like do you remember when that girl
but the thing is that the positions have changed.
Right, but they haven't changed their messaging about it.
Right.
Do you remember
You're not miles ahead of Kari Lake.
Do you remember when that girl from the Young Turks, I think her name's like Anna Kasparian or something?
Yeah.
When she did that like Ben Shapiro event where she debated with Ben Shapiro and all these people were mad at her. They were like, you're giving him a platform. And she was like, no, he's bigger than me. He's giving me my platform. Like, what are we saying? This is crazy. It's so ridiculous to do that when she's losing this race. Now, pretty clearly, this is Kari Lake is favored to win in pretty much every lineup, like in the actual polls that are coming out, not just what's going to happen on election day, that I think will be better for Republicans than the polls are right now. To continue to spout the same talking points about how you don't want to give her views legitimacy and you're not going to give it the time of day to debate Kari Lake, you sound like an insane person.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just, and it's so transparently like dumb. It's so just stupid that it makes people not want to vote for you because you're not even like reacting to the reality that we're all in. Like, she's beating you now. You're not going to debate her and to continue to repeat the same talking points. Like, are you a robot or an alien or something?
Well, it also shows a disrespect for the electorate. Is that, no, we were comfortably ahead. We don't deserve to let the people see us in the arena. I mean, the people don't deserve to see us in the arena. So we're not going to do it. And people see that and they say, wait a second, you don't think we deserve to see you in the arena doing your best intellectual exercise on your toes in that second? We're not deserving of that. Voters aren't deserving of that. Meanwhile, the other lady saying I'll debate her anytime, anywhere, et cetera, and still is saying it.
Yeah. And I'm sure she would. And I'm sure she would clean up because she's so quick on her feet and smart and articulate, Carrie Lake is, that she would wipe the floor with Katie Hobbs.
Totally. It's remarkable. We're going to stick to our plan. Okay.
Yeah, but the situation has changed. I mean...
Yeah, the current course you have, the current flight plan you have puts you into Mount Etna. So maybe you should change. No, we're going to stick to it. We've worked on this. All right. What else you got?
So the White House had a run-in with the new Twitter today also. Did you see this?
Oh, no. Is this a Obama thing?
No. This is the current White House. So they tweeted out today and said, seniors are getting the biggest increase in their Social Security checks in 10 years through President Biden's leadership. Now, what are increases in your Social Security?
Those are COLA increases, I would say.
Right. And what are they based on?
Inflationary numbers.
Yes. So
everybody's getting 10 grand more because the dollar, your check is worth 10 grand less.
Right. Exactly. So they're claiming credit for that. The Biden administration.
And what was the Twitter aspect of it?
So the Twitter aspect is that Twitter slapped a context warning label on it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
Readers added context that they thought people might want to know. Seniors will receive a large Social Security benefit increase due to the annual cost of living adjustment, which is based on the inflation rate. President Nixon in 1972 signed into law automatic benefit adjustments tied to the Consumer Price Index. With a link to the Social Security Administration website, and the White House took the tweet down.
I heard. There was, if you listen to John Podhoretz, he worked on the George H.W. Bush administration as a speechwriter, you know, of commentary, John Podhoretz. Yeah. And he talked about, during the Bush campaign, having no good days. Every day was a loss for something in the media, fair or not. And that's like leading up to the election. It's like they spent their good days a month ago.
Yeah. They did their like post-Dobbs decision thing. And now they're trying to get some momentum on this affirmative action decision that the court is hearing right now and asking questions about and all this stuff. They're trying to like make this into a thing. But the truth is that affirmative action is really unpopular. People don't like affirmative action. People don't like the idea that you're weighting the college students based on race and rating all the Asian students with bad personality scores because you don't want as many of them to get into Harvard. People hate these admissions standards. And yes, do colleges still find ways to get around it by, you know, they'll take like anybody who's in the top % of their high school class, regardless of which high school it is. And that helps them like balance out races the way they want to a bit and stuff like that. And they do a lot more kind of fuzzy factors, like they don't rely on test scores and as much and things like that. This is how they're trying to get around these racial admission bans. I think it's California, actually, surprisingly, that has one, because I think the voters voted in an affirmative ban on racial quotas. But yeah, so the Supreme Court's hearing this case, and they're like trying to gin up some kind of excitement about this. The Supreme Court is like radical for trying to get rid of affirmative action, which they're probably going to do because it's really, really egregious what these colleges are doing. And there's not like a reason for it anymore. Obviously, the liberal justices are freaking morons, but whatever. What are you going to do about it? But did you hear what Whoopi said about Clarence Thomas?
Yeah.
On The View
it?
I thought
it was disgusting, but...
She's a horrific person.
Here we go.
I've heard the word diversity quite a few times, and I don't have a clue what it means.
That's Clarence Thomas.
It seems to mean everything for everyone.
Actually, no, that's not what it means, sir.
She should do one of these.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the tiny sized brain that she has? She's going to condescend to him, who's a serious person.
You know, being inclusive means that when you look around that court, you're seeing women who may not have had the ability to go to law school, had affirmative action not been there to make sure that women...
Already, where's the problem?
The women wouldn't have been able to get in. They're too dumb to get in without affirmative action.
Women who may not have had the ability.
And were allowed in the school. You are sitting on a court where, and I know you don't like to admit this, but you might have gotten some help because you would not have been allowed in the college of your choice had it not been for affirmative action. It is not saying this is all you have to do. It is saying you have to include this as what you do. And you also ought to mention that the people who have benefited most from affirmative action have been women who are white. Because
I don't know where we are anymore now. There's so much happening.
It's such an insane thing to say, too, because now more women go to law school than men do. And college. But law school, especially, if we're going to talk about that, there should be an affirmative action program for men at this point in law school. But, whatever. She's an idiot. She has no idea what she's talking about. So for her to say about Clarence Thomas, who's a brilliant, brilliant guy, that he wouldn't have got where he is without affirmative action is so disgusting. What a nuts thing to say. It used to be that, that was taboo for people on the right to say, right? That somebody only got where they were because of affirmative action. Do you remember those days? Not that long ago?
Say again?
Not that long ago, it was taboo to tell people of color that they only got where they were because of affirmative action.
Yes, you're not allowed to say that.
There was a big scandal about it when I was at Tufts because somebody wrote something in one of the school papers that was a comedic piece designed to imply that the students of color who were there had not done as much to deserve to be there. But yeah, but also at that time too, it was also openly talked about. I mean, I remember talking to one kid who was, I don't know even exactly what he was, if he was kind of black or what, but he said it openly that he was yeah, I had a drug thing in my past that I got in trouble for having drugs and all this stuff, and my SAT scores weren't that great, but I got in because diversity scoring, so people would say stuff like that.
Yeah,
but to point at specific people, it doesn't exactly work that way either, to point at specific people and say you wouldn't have gotten where you are if it weren't for affirmative action. It's more like a statistical thing that happens. But the fact that it's now apparently acceptable, that stuff has always been pretty questionable, but the fact that it's now acceptable for people on the left, like Whoopi Goldberg, to start pointing fingers at people and saying, you only got where you are because of affirmative action. It's pretty incredible, especially for someone with twice her IQ.
Agreed, Alice. I'm not gonna challenge you on that.
Why are you acting like that?
Like what?
Why are you acting like you're not gonna challenge me on that?
I'm not.
Okay. Is it time for us to jump to the burn barrel?
Let's try it. It's been such an exciting day for you.
Or is there anything else that you need to get to right now?
What else did I want to talk about? I don't think so. Let's see. All right. I'll be in Connecticut this weekend. If anybody's down in Connecticut, my Sunday through Wednesday, I think. That's right?
That's right.
And me, 3 of the kids, and 1 brother and 1 dog will be all down there. So maybe we'll see you down there. Could be fun. Alice is selfishly taking a plane
to California.
Yep. Taking a flight alone, by the way.
With my kid.
Right.
To take him for his allergy treatments in California.
Oh, wait, are you going JetBlue?
No.
You're going at your crappy airlines?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Where are the connections and what time are they?
St. Louis. Again, both ways.
Okay. And what time do you land in St. Louis?
Let me pull it up for you. I'll find
What time
out.
of night do you leave?
The flight leaves at 7 in the morning, Monday morning.
Okay, to St. Louis.
From Boston to St. Louis.
Okay. And when do you get in there? About 8 p.m. Pacific time?
No. Let's see. I can't find it now.
And once again, this is an airline.
I think I'm going to be
an airline without a movie screen in front of you.
Yes, that's accurate. There's no.
So you can read the
screen.
in-flight magazine and order monogrammed golf balls. How horrific!
I can read a book.
How horrific!
Reading books is great. Oh, so I have to tell you, I was listening because everybody's now told me I have to. So I've been bullied into. I have begun my journey of listening to the beginning of the Kirk Minahan show.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I disagree with Kirk's take about prison. I think prison sounds really great and relaxing, actually.
Alice, I have to travel 3.5 years back to know what you're talking about.
So he had Blind Mike's friend call who had been to prison and heard about prison, and he didn't like the sound of prison.
Okay.
But I'm saying it sounds actually kind of relaxing.
It gets good Yelp reviews. I can tell you that. Okay, ready for the chat?
Sure.
All right.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
I wanted to leave some answers to some unanswered questions from today's podcast.
Oh, good.
The first question would be, who's the good guy from The Terminator? That would be the actor Michael Biehn.
Oh, yeah.
Very handsome guy.
That's right. That's who, yes. That's who the guy looked like
Please
from
say
Karate.
you're the handsome guy from Karate, Steve.
Oh, that would be great to know, but I don't think so.
Who was also in The Abyss and Aliens, and very, very good actor.
Yes, he was in Aliens. He was. He's overshadowed because he plays a straight guy in that. As in the straight man in comedy.
Right.
And Bill Paxton, or is it Bill Pullman? Paxton really stole the show. I mean, he should have gotten an Oscar for that.
The answer to the question, who's Maris's husband is, who gives a shit? God. The answer to the question, do I know what Maris's husband looks like, is who gives a crap? Tom, you're getting into this rut where you just minutes and minutes of uninteresting stuff.
I tried to tell him,
Alice,
Steve.
Help.
I tried to tell him,
This is
Steve.
real life stuff. I need to know.
I tried to tell him, Steve.
I need to know. He seemed very familiar with me, and I'm shocked. I don't know who he was, but he was really handsome, and so I would have remembered, right? Or who is it then?
I don't know.
Who are
It's
you,
a
sir?
mystery.
God, what's that? The Facebook.
You can look through. There is a Facebook group for the karate parents. You can look through the people that are.
What about
in
those? Is the Craigslist like chance encounters still exist?
And the other thing is, whenever the subject of a handsome man comes up, all of a sudden, you're Nathan Lane. He was a brown-eyed, handsome man who approached me at karate. I would have talked to him, but I was too busy. Please stop this behavior. Thank you.
I happen to like Nathan Lane. What the hell that meant?
Talented guy.
Katharine Hepburn here. I was just calling in to say that I understand where Alice was coming from when she threw it at Tom's big fat skull. I was in a similar position and I was at a celebrity party and I saw Dom DeLuise and I thought he was having a grab at it, but I took off my shoe and threw it at
hit Dom DeLuise. You probably don't know who he is. So, do you know who Spencer Tracy is?
That sounds familiar.
That's who Katharine Hepburn was having an affair with. Katharine Hepburn from Old Saybrook, Connecticut. Wow. That's right. Wow. Okay.
Trish points out in the chat, and this is what I was thinking of when I was saying some of the Supreme Court justices are morons, is Sotomayor was confusing
a jure or something.
De jure.
Yeah.
Well, because one means she was asking if there's discrimination, de jure and discrimination, which means that it's like written into the law, the discrimination, and de facto discrimination means it just happens that like more Asian students get into the college.
One of Tucker's lawyers sniffed this out.
Hey, Tom, Phil from Attleboro.
Hey, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
A couple days late on this, but Julie and I were in Nashville for a long weekend, and what a great
fun.
city. A lot to do, very exciting, great nightlife.
Yeah.
And if you ever get a chance to get there, I would certainly recommend it.
I was there before it was cool, remember, Alice? I did work at the Opryland Hotel.
I heard that.
I was so timid. And you know what's funny? Our job, what I applied for, there was all sorts of people. It's like Disney World. So there were girls who worked for the Jack Daniels store there who all wore cute blue miniskirts, Southern Belle girls who were gorgeous. And then there were some horticulturalists, and then there was like this and that, and then there was my guys who were like set up for table rollers, grunts, like Neanderthals. And I remember one time during orientation, they said, okay, so just so you know, we're going to do step 2 of orientation is tomorrow, but for tomorrow, you can't have any facial hair. If you have any facial hair, you're going to be, because it was a beautiful hotel, they said, we're going to send you home, and you're not going to be employed with the Opryland Hotel. And like 4 out of 10 dudes came the next day with facial hair and were dismissed. Man.
Speaking of which, you're doing No Shave November, right?
I think so. I got to text my boss and ask her.
So it's day 2 already of No Shave November.
It is. It's not a good look, but we'll see.
But what I'm calling about is we got home and Sunday night, we put on the Burn Barrel podcast. And what a pleasant surprise. We saw that Alice was wearing an ersatz St. Pauli girl outfit, and it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
See?
I can't speak for Julie, but I know I really thought it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
The
So I
St.
just
Pauli
wanted
girl
to
came
know.
back for a day for Halloween.
Not just one day. She's coming back again.
No, she came back for a
No,
day. She made a
she's coming
one-day
back tomorrow.
appearance in the Shattuck household. She's gone again.
Patreon people deserve this.
With a couple of other holidays coming up, I was wondering if you could give me a heads up on when she'll be wearing the flimsy squaw outfit for Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
And the slutty elf outfit in honor of Christmas coming up. So if you can just let me know, give me a day or 2 heads up, I sure would appreciate it.
Phil?
Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.
Phil, God bless you. You have my guarantee. I would kid.
No.
You know what? Lock. It is a lock.
Okay.
There will be a slutty squaw outfit, and there will be.
Morgan wants to know why you have to text your boss to grow a beard.
No, I have to text her. Where's my? Oh, my son has my phone, so forget it. I don't. I was going to text her to see if we're doing No Shave November. They said 2 months ago. They said, "Will everybody do it if we do it?" And I said, "Yes." And, oh no, you shut up. That's the pretend lady who did. It didn't really happen. Didn't really happen.
Hey, Tom and Alice.
Hey.
Playing a little catch-up here, but I'd like to start by thanking Alice for her well-versed defense of Christianity.
Here we go.
On the Minahan show. You just did a great job there. But then I'd like to flip it a little bit and chastise you, Tom, for letting your wife be subjected to a bunch of callers whose mental development clearly ended at puberty.
It comes with the territory.
That's what happens. And I don't know if you listened to today's show, but you know.
I
guess you did
I haven't
if
even
you get
heard
through this episode. But
I haven't heard the callers.
I didn't hear the callers on today's yet either.
I thought that the callers Alice got in there were fairly tame, considering what they could have been.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's fine.
There's no dump button in there, so yeah, I have no problem with it whatsoever.
They have to wait for the callers to hang up. What do you mean?
No, they can
dump.
No, a dump button. In other words, it dumps the last 7 seconds.
Oh.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Questions about masturbation in the office and micro penises.
Oh yeah.
Come on,
I don't
Tom,
think the
let
micro
Alice
penises even came up really.
Yeah, no, but Alice has laughed about that before. You know, I mean, she can't imagine what would be like to have that around in her life, Alice.
Why are you saying that?
be pushed around like that. At least ask her if it bothered her. I don't even think
bother
she
her.
did that.
She has heard all that stuff before.
I've heard
She,
everything.
believe
I
me.
grew up with the internet, so I've heard and seen everything that exists in the world. Before, I grew up in that like weird interim time period where I was like 13 and had the internet, but parents didn't realize yet what was out there on the internet, or that you like had to lock things down or put protective things on there. So I literally like have there.
She has a spoiled mind already.
Yeah, I'm
She's already been
destroyed. My brain is broken already, so I can't like be. Nothing can surprise
I
me.
didn't
at this
even
point.
get to have callers when I was on.
I know they
Terrible.
didn't let you have.
You think
callers.
they'd have something to say to me now if I was on? No. Now about both me and you.
Anyway, I appreciate what you've been doing. Been a listener since day one.
Thank you.
Wear my Burn Barrel T-shirt proudly. So, just again, thanks to Alice, and come on, Tom.
I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. Alice Shattuck, I think, would do it again in a second.
I said that on Manners' show. I said, I
gotta listen to that again. Too.
Okay.
Laughed. We've cried. Some of us even got nauseous. Congratulations, Burn Barrel, on not foreclosing.
You know what that means?
I'm not sure what that means.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm tuckered.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening, everybody. And appreciate you joining us for these. One more live stream this week. You can join the live streams at patreon.com/burnbarrel, and we put out
there's no doubt. She talked crime.
Extra.
I may have to take a little. I may have to take a little responsibility for some of this stuff in particular, because I was leading her, obviously, Rick. I didn't. She just called in.